Namaste, everyone. Good morning. Thank you for joining us today on our 5th day of the Global Festival of Yoga. We hope that you have been enjoying our sessions and learning from them, and most importantly, healing from them, because our theme for this year is wisdom, healing, and well-being. So this morning's session is all about correcting bad posture and bad alignment. Now, this pandemic has caused so many of us to be sitting on our computers all day. Even when there isn't a pandemic, we spend so much time on our computers, staring at a screen all day, and this can have adverse effects on our neck, on our shoulders, and our spine. So today's session, we're going to focus on how to remove this stress from our neck, our shoulders, and spine using asana practice. Our session this morning will be conducted by Samanta Duggal. She's a Bombay-based teacher. Samanta is a yoga and movement therapist. She's also a sound therapist and has been practicing Vedic chanting and teaching Vedic chanting for over 20 years. So today, Samanta is going to show us how we can remove the stress from our neck, shoulders, and spine by using asana. So welcome, Samanta, to this session. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning.
Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you, Sophia, for that lovely introduction. And thank you, Indica Yoga, for having me here. Amazing. Thank you.
Wonderful. So I'll let you take it from here. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this session on postural correction and alignment for the neck, shoulders, and the spine. Just before we start, I want to say that this is a practice session, so you make sure that you have your yoga mat with you and also maybe a belt. So if you have a yoga belt, that is amazing, and also a wall or a chair where we can hold on and use as props, as support. Okay, so I'm going to go straight ahead into this session and give you a little bit of anatomical background on what we are doing. So as Sophia has said, I'm going to share my screen with you. We're going to know the spine a little bit. We have really suffered through this pandemic because not only being constricted psychologically and physically in closed small spaces, working and being social and watching Netflix in small spaces has really caused a lot of stress on our neck, shoulders, and our spine, especially sitting for long hours and hunched over our computers and then slouching on chairs and beds to have phone calls and watching television, right? So this is exactly what we're going to address today and do a very simple practice session on the same. So I'm going to start with actually knowing your spine. So the spine is the central support structure. It's the protective skeletal structure around your spinal cord, which is very important because it carries all the nerve impulses back and forward from your brain to your muscles and your muscles to your brain and your sensory organs as well. It connects three parts of the body together: your pelvis, your abdomen, your thorax, and your neck. Okay, and why is it so important? It gives you support, it gives you structure, it helps you stand, sit, walk, bend, twist. All movement comes from the spine. So it really is like your powerhouse. When we work in our yoga asana practice, right, we can bend, we use basically asana to bend and energize and relax our spine in all different directions. Forward bends, back bends, side bends, twists, inversions, supine postures, vertical postures, right? So how many vertebrae do we have? I think we forget this. We learn this in biology class and we forget it. So I want to quickly remind you that we are born with 33 vertebrae, but we have 24 which actually move. Yes, and 9 which are fused. And basically it's divided into the neck, the thorax, which is like the rib cage. So if you can see on the screen here, then you have the lumbar, which is the lower back, and you have the pelvis, the sacral region, right? So the tip of the tailbone, which actually connects to the hips, right? We don't have to know the number of bones and everything, but this is just up here on the screen for you to get a little understanding. We have 7 bones in the neck, 12 in the thorax, lumbar has 5, and then you have the sacrum and the coccyx, which don't move so much. Now, why am I telling you this? Because do you know which the most flexible part of the spine is? And the most flexible part of the spine is your neck. Okay, and it can move in all directions, as we know, but do we move it? No. And this is the part we injure the most because it is the most flexible. Second most flexible is the lumbar region. That's the area where we injure the next most, and then the thoracic. Okay, so what happens with the thoracic and the rib cage, very interesting, is that it doesn't get used so much. And it is so important because it actually houses your heart and your lungs. So it's a protective covering for that, right? So we have to mobilize the thorax. What happens is it ends up moving very little, right? So we're going to address all of these things. Yeah, and just a small note on, and of course, the shoulders as well, which is connected to your neck and your spine, which also tend to become tight. General causes of back pain are poor posture and lack of movement, sedentary lifestyle, obesity, too much weight in the belly, there's an overload on the back muscles, or if you carry like heavy objects, you injure your spine because of weakness in your lower back, pregnancy, and of course you have degenerative diseases like arthritis injuries, fractures, etc. Well, that's all for this screen share. So I'm going to stop the share now. And all right, so I'm going to take you through this brief practice session. I'm going to show you also what you basically might look like if you worked for a long time on the computer. What tends to happen is your chin starts to come forward, your shoulders start to round. This is classic, and the spine tends to collapse like this. So you have like this classic hunchback syndrome, when actually we should be back, shoulders back, and chest open. And what tends to happen is the pelvis tends to tilt back. So we really want to push the pelvis forward as we're working so that we reduce this arch at the back. Also, I'm going to show you this on the chair. When we are sitting on the chair for a long period of time, these muscles in the front, which are called the hip flexors, again, you don't have to remember names, they shorten. So once these shorten, you tend to hunch like this. So we literally look like this. Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating, but this is basically what we are going to address today. And we're going to be moving quite a bit in the session. So I'm going to be adjusting according to the heights. We're going to start very simply with the neck. Okay, so take a comfortable seat. You can be sitting on the floor on your mat, or you could be sitting on your chair. And we're going to start with Griva Sanchalana, very simple neck movements done with the breath. Yes, mobilize the neck, which is the most flexible part of our body. So you're going to inhale, look up, shoulders are rolled back. Isolate your neck from everything else. Exhale, chin down to the chest. Stretch the back of the neck. Inhale, look up. Exhale, chin down to the chest, shoulders relaxed. Make sure that your spine is not moving as well. Troubleshooting here. Inhale up. Exhale, chin down into the chest, stretch the back of the neck. We'll do this one more time. Inhale and up. Exhale and chin down to the chest. Stretching the back of the neck. Inhale, return the neck to neutral. Inhale here, exhale, turn the head to the right side. Inhale, center, exhale to the left. Inhale, center, exhale to the right. Inhale, center, exhale to the left. Inhale, center, exhale to the right. Inhale, center, exhale to the left. Last one. Inhale, center, exhale to the right. And here I invite you to just bring your hand on your chin and turn the neck. Right. Now, what will happen here is you'll find that maybe the left shoulder is coming forward a little bit. So you want to really pull your shoulder back. Inhale back to the center. Exhale over to the left. And placing your hand on your chin and slowly turning your neck over to the left side. Don't allow your right shoulder to come forward. So you're giving that extra manual touch to your stretch. Inhale back to the center, exhale, tilt your head. Again, not a very used movement. Inhale, center, exhale, left. Inhale, exhale, tilt to the right. Inhale, exhale to the left. Inhale, exhale to the right. Inhale, exhale to the left. One last time. Breathe in, breathe out. Now you see this range of motion is quite limited. So I'm going to bring my hand here and I'm going to use my hand to tilt and really feel this stretch between my shoulder and my neck. Take a few breaths here. You want to exaggerate the stretch. Bring your hand onto your shoulder and feel that opening. Wonderful. Take a few breaths here. Inhale, come back to the center. Exhale, tilt. Bringing your hand over, bringing your right hand on your shoulder and stretch. Breathe. Taking a few deep breaths here. Do not pull too hard. So especially if you have conditions like spondylosis, you want to be really careful. We're not going to do any rotations. That's very contraindicatory to neck conditions. Another one for pokey chins. I call this a pokey chin when your chin is actually extended forward. It's very, very common. What we're going to do is pull the chin back and release. 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 What we can do, assist with the hand, pull the chin back. And really, these are so easy. You can sit on your chair, on your office chair, in your home chair and do these. Pull back and release. Last one, pull back. And you can feel the neck muscles at the back really working. Right. One last one for the neck. Okay. So we have this, well, it's got a long name, but it's called the sternocleidomastoid muscle, which runs from your collarbone up to your, the occiput, the base of the skull and below the ear. So this becomes really tight as well because we use it for everything, right? Speaking, eating, it's connected all the way up to the jaw. So if you want to feel this, it's like quite a strong muscle. If you want to feel it, turn your head to one side, grab the muscle. Now this is manual work, guys. Be very careful when you're doing this. If you have any injuries on the neck, then you can turn your neck to the center, grab the neck, keep it pressed there, and it feels really good, and release. Again, turn And you can work it all the way up to your ear. So grab the neck, come back to the center. It's like a really tough tendon and release. Super. And turn the neck. So it goes up, go all the way up to your ear. Come back to the center and release. Okay. Well, you can sit with this for a lot of time, but basically we hold for about 5 seconds and we release. So again, I invite you to turn your head to the right and grab the muscle, feel the muscle, and release. Turn the neck, grab the muscle. Take a few breaths. You're breathing through your nostrils into your belly, release. Go all the way up to the ear, grab the muscle, hold. Yeah. And of course, one side feels tighter than the other. Moving on to the shoulders, which are so connected to the neck, especially this muscle over here, it's called the trapezius. If you feel it, it's like a hard ball. So we're going to be addressing this. And we're going to start with range of motion first. So we're going to start with mobility. Yeah, so very simple, Skanda Chakra from the Bihar School of Yoga, right? Now bring your hands onto your shoulders. We're going to touch the elbows together and you're going to inhale up. Exhale back and down together. Make sure your elbows come together in the center. Inhale up. Again, you're not moving your neck, you're isolating your shoulders. Inhale up. Exhale and down. One more time. Inhale up. And you make sure you take your elbows. It's like you're drawing a large circle with your elbows, right? Exhale and now let's reverse it. Inhale up and back. And exhale and down. Inhale back and up. Inhale on the upward movement, exhale on the downward movement. A moment about the breathing. You're breathing always through your nostrils. Inhale up and exhale and down. Let's make this movement a little larger. So if you're sitting down, maybe you want to come up to kneeling and you want to use your arms all the way. Inhale up. Exhale back and down. So it's like you're swimming. Inhale up. Exhale back and down. Inhale up. Exhale back and down. Let's reverse it. Inhale back. Exhale and down. Inhale back. Exhale and down. Full rotations of the arms. Inhale up. Exhale and down. Wonderful. Another one which I love to use is like, just if you have a belt, if you have a clothes belt, take a comfortable distance for your arms, but make sure that your elbows don't bend when you do this. And you're going to just rotate back. I'm working on flexibility and range of motion. Now, maybe for today, you will not be able to do the full movement and you'll stop here. That's fine. But for the full movement, it looks something like this. Exhale. Wonderful. Inhale. And you can increase the distance between your arms if you need more range of motion, right? Inhale. Back. And exhale. 2 more times. Inhale. Back. And exhale. One last one. Inhale, back, and exhale. Wonderful. And now we're going to move into some more. Keep your belt handy because it's required. Moving into the more classical postures in yoga. Great for even advanced practitioners who've been doing this for a long time. We must address our shoulders for sure. Flexibility in the shoulders. Gomukha asana. So you bring your right arm behind. So Well, it's not completely behind the head, so you're not overextending, but just behind the head. Let's just give it a brief stretch here. Try not to arch your lower back when you do this. Push your lower back abdominals in. Change. Bring your left elbow behind the head. So this is just a preparation for Gomukh Asana. I'm going to be turning around and showing you the whole posture. Breathe. Release. Bottom arm is doing this. So you're going to bring your right hand as high as you can. One common mistake here is that we tend to bring the hand here. No, bring the palm between the shoulders and start to wiggle your palm up all the way between the shoulders. Now, some people might be stuck here. Yes, it's okay. Be patient with yourself. Maybe you can use your other hand to adjust. Bring the hand all the way up. Release slowly and change side. So bringing your left palm all the way between the shoulders. I'm going to show you from the front what it looks like. My shoulders rolling back. It's rolling back. This is what we want to do to actually correct that roundedness. All right. Now for the full posture, you can use your belt or your TheraBand or whatever you have handy with you. Bringing your right arm on top, bringing your left hand below, and the pose actually looks like this from the back. You're clasping your fingers, and if you're using your belt, you're kind of using your belt like this to walk your hands up closer and closer to each other. As I said, please listen to your bodies. Do not force the movement, right? To achieve that Sukham and Sthiram in an asana takes time. So we have to be patient with ourselves. Let's stay here for a few breaths, breathing in through your nose, into your diaphragm, very relaxed, belly breaths, or diaphragmatic breathing if you know that. And then we're going to slowly release. Fantastic. Let's do the other side. So bringing your left arm on top, right hand below. Here, I will not use the belt, but please feel free to use the belt and breathe here. So when you hold postures, it also stabilizes the muscles. Besides working on flexibility, you're also working on the strength in the pose by holding isometrically for a longer period of time. Let's take a few breaths right here. Wonderful. Keep rolling your right shoulder back. Keep rolling your right shoulder back. I have to keep reminding myself as well. I've come a long, long, long way with my shoulders. So being a dancer, I've also just developed a lot of immobility in certain areas of my body, over flexibility in some. Right, let's move on to the next. Parshva Namaskar is a common arm gesture which is used in yoga a lot. The way I like to get into it, because a lot of people don't have that wrist and forearm flexibility, maybe you can do a couple of these. And also amazing for you if you've been like sitting on the computer for a long time. So before we do that, so just pulling the palm back and sort of just flexing, dorsiflexing, yeah, is a nice one to do. You can also mobilize your fingers, Mushtika Bandha, opening, closing fingers, and like really sending the energy to the fingers and palms, because we're always typing, we're always on the computer using our devices. Another amazing one to do. So send the energy to your forearms, wrist, and your fingers, and we move into Parshva Namaskar. So bringing your arms out, I'm going to turn around, and you're going to bring your fists up as high as you can, right? So get these fists to touch. Now you may be here. Okay, no problem. Right? And just pull your elbows back and your shoulders open. chest and heart and lungs open without arching the lower back. I'm going to keep repeating this without the lumbar arch. So if you're doing this, correct yourself, tuck your pelvis forward. This is actually called an anterior tilt in the pelvis. Control that, right? And then if you can release your hands, release them and join your palms together, that would be amazing. So now this requires, as I said, a lot of wrist mobility. Yes, so again, if you need to stay with your fists together, it's perfectly okay. Keep pulling the elbows back and keep trying to decrease the distance between the palms of the hands as we take a few deep breaths. Whoa. In the morning, always tenfold harder, but wakes you up for the day. Exhale, slowly release a few more finger extensions, and just like to finish with a simple Badaguli asana, like just interlock your fingers and lift your palms. Now, what you might feel is that you end up doing this. So you want to push your shoulders down and connect your shoulders down to your shoulder blades, right? Even if the elbows are slightly bending, okay, then you can slide, you can work towards straightening without tensing your shoulders, right? One last one is interlocking the fingers behind the back. Again, so easy to do this just sitting on your chair. Interlock your fingers and lifting your arms up. Now, the movement is coming right from the top of my shoulders. So up and release. And up and release. 3 more times. Inhale up, open the chest. Broaden through your collarbones. Don't let your collarbones close. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Wonderful. Last time. Inhale up. And exhale and down. Going to move into the rib cage. Yes. So if you can see my mat right here, I'm going to start with just a few cat pose, Marjari Asana. Okay, so just warming up the entire spine. Really nice one to do to warm up for your yoga asana practice. So push your spine down, lift your neck up. And exhale and release. So you tuck in, round your back, push your spine down, lift your neck up. So actually this one is for the entire spine and it really feels so good. Exhale, move your spine and then tuck your chin down into the chest. Push your spine down, lift your neck up. Mobilize neck and spine together. Very good for lower back pain as well. Exhale. Spine moves first, chin down to the chest. Let's do this one more time. Inhale and up. Exhale, belly in, chin down to the chest. So the first one, as I said, we're going to work with strength and stretch. Is actually a stretch for the thoracic region. So if you know, popularly this is Adho Mukh Virasana or Balasana, child's pose. You're just going to start from your child's and you're going to move forward and try to bring your chest all the way down to the floor. Right? So the chest is moving down to the floor. Chin can be resting on the floor, forehead can be down. Okay, depends on the mobility of your rib cage. And now what will happen is continue to do the stretch as I talk to you. You're staying there, you're breathing, your arms are straight, your elbows are completely straight. Now what happens is sometimes the rib cage is so tight that your chest may not end up actually reaching the floor. So in that case, I invite you to place a cushion or a yoga block right underneath the chest so that you have some support right there. So if you're here, you can also work this like this. Control the lumbar arch. Separate your knees, straighten your elbows, don't bend them. Quite an intense stretch. Anahatasana. I come out of this and I am resting in child's pose. So I drop, relax my back because that was quite an intense activation. Right, and I'm just going to show you some floor work. So we're going to now move on to a supine position to work on strengthening the thorax, and very, very helpful in cobra pose and bhujangasanas, which we do so often, right? Excellent for the upper back, mid back, and lower back. But a lot of the times we are constricted by the thorax, by the rib cage, which we don't use. So lie on your belly, very simple. Inhale and lift up into an unsupported bhujangasana. Make sure your feet are not flying apart. And exhale and down. So inhale and lift. Lift the chest up. And the shoulders are pulled away from the ears. Exhale and down. 2 more times. Inhale and lift. Make sure that you're not squeezing your shoulders up, working with strength. Exhale and down. One last time. Inhale and lift. You can also place your palms down here and see if your bhujangasana works for you at this point. Relax your shoulders from your ears. Exhale and down. Wonderful. One quick variation over here, if you're more advanced, to really work on those chest muscles and your thoracic muscles. Inhale and exhale. Pull back. 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 One last time. Inhale and exhale and relax. And you will feel quite a lot of work happening there, especially here. Yeah. So just take a brief relaxation. And we're going to move into one last one on the belly in the supine position, right? And the next one is Sarpasana. Again, it's a classical posture. So we start, and this has a bit of shoulders as well. So we've done a lot of shoulder mobility. Place your forehead down. Inhale. Lift your head, chest, and arms off the back. Feel as if someone is pulling your arms back. Breathe through your nose. Exhale and down. 2 more times. Inhale and lift. Lift your chest, lift your arms off the back. Sometimes you'll be here, right? That's because of the strength factor, not always flexibility. Some elbows are here. Try and straighten the elbows. Extend. Some of you are hyper-extended. Exhale, and there's another practice for that. Yeah, hyper-extended elbows. That's a very common issue as well. One last time. Inhale and lift. Breathe in. Exhale and down. Let's just lift up and stretch back in child's pose. Adho Mukha Virasana Balasana. Relax. So, well, these ones are actually just the tip of the iceberg. So I'm just giving you short intros, 4 or 5 repetitions. You can do these at least 10, 12 times to actually build that mobility and strength in your muscles. The next one is actually a lovely stretch. So it's a spinal twist. And we're going to lie on the back. Knees this way. I'm going to show it to you both ways. Palms closed, and we're going to exhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Sometimes what happens is it's so tight, your chest and shoulders might be so tight, or your ribs and your latissimus, the side body may be so tight, it may not all be able to come down, but that's okay. Just work on range of motion here. Even if you're here, exhale, close. Inhale, open, 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 open. Two more times, exhale, close. And open. One last time. And close. And open. So your neck is down. You can stay here. It feels really good. And well, you can work the entire spine in this position, Supta Udarkarshana, but today we remain like this with the knees pinned down. We're going to repeat this on the other side. So your knees are together and you close. Inhale, open. So I really feel the difference between my right and my left side as I do this. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. You can even stay for a couple of breaths there if you really want to feel that opening in the chest and the shoulders. And exhale, close. Inhale, open. Last two, exhale, close. Inhale, open. Last one, exhale, close. And inhale, open. And we just hold it there for a few breaths to really feel that opening in the chest and the rib cage. Breathe into your belly through your nostrils. Your breathing always helps. Your breathing helps because it helps to oxygenate and relax your muscular system, right? And your nervous system, of course. Stay right here, breathe. Wonderful. Inhale. Come back. Hug your knees into the chest. And we're going to sit up over one side. And actually, we're going to stand up. So here is where your wall will come into place. So if you have a wall or you have a cupboard or you have some kind of support behind you, this would be really nice. These are called wall slides, and this is not a technically yoga asana, but it's more preparation, I would say. So I'm kind of leaning my feet away from the wall and my arms are here. I'm going to just tilt myself up a little bit more so you can see me better. Important to observe what my upper body is doing. This is so important because we don't give enough attention to our rib cage, as I said, and our thoracic region, which is why I really want to spend time activating this. This is for strength, actually, and you're going to stick your spine back against the wall. Feet are away, and you're going to slide the arms up and down. And this looks really easy, but actually it's not. So it's like inhale up, exhale down, inhale up, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. You can do 10 times, and I'm already feeling the work happening because you're continue for about 10, 12. Your back, your rib cage at the back is stuck. Yeah, against the wall. You can do 3 sets of 10 over here, and this will give you really beautiful lifts in your Bhujang Asana. I'm going to do this one more time. Yeah, so in case you don't have it, my feet are hip width apart, parallel to each other. Palms are here. Spine is sticking back against the wall, especially the rib cage. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Wall slides, inhale and exhale for strengthening the thoracic region. Wow, I feel my shoulders and my shoulder blades doing a lot of work as well. Okay, let's move on to the section on the lower back. Right now, lower back issues, we're going to start. Well, you can start with either. You can start with mobility or strength, either of them. Today I'm starting with mobility. As I said, that we often tend to arch our backs. It gives us, especially for women, as women, our pelvic structures are they're much larger than men, and we tend to have a lot of lower back issues. So we want to really work through this anterior tilt of the pelvis and be very conscious when we are doing this work. So for this, you need a chair. You can use the back of your chair, or you can even use the wall. Again, you can use your cupboard to actually do this stretch. Yeah. So we're here and we're going to walk back. My feet are parallel and hip width apart. And you're going to stretch back. Now, especially if you've been sitting for a long period of time, amazing one to do, huh? Just get up from your chair and stretch. Now, tendency is this will start to hang. Please use your core. A lot of lower back issues happen because of a weak core. So you want to push your core in, extend your spine. Do not bend the elbows like this. So you're hanging into your chest. Straighten your arms. And after all this work that we've done on the neck, shoulders, and mid back, this should feel really nice. So push your core inside towards the lower back. Breathe. You can keep your knees soft. If you have really tight hamstrings, you can also keep your knees slightly bent. So like I'm doing right here, they're slightly bent, and I walk back. And I'm still here and I'm breathing. I'm going to give you a little more time here because actually this feels so good on my back. It's really a whole back stretch. It's like, imagine between the vertebrae, like you're actually stretching and elongating, stretching and elongating. Yeah, to come out of it, you're going to slowly walk forward, release. Okay, that's enough for this one. And we're going to move into a little bit of strength for the lower back. One which I've already done with you, which was the cat curls. This is an amazing one, especially if you're coming out of a spine injury. You see, everybody's cases is it's individual. Everybody's bodies are different. Yeah, and here is where I really believe in the Vini yoga of yoga, is where you apply a different kind of practice to each body and each temperament. Yeah, but let's work on a little bit of strength. So hands under your shoulders, knees together. Again, this is not technically an asana, but it's really very useful for lower back and core strengthening. So you're going to extend your left leg back, extend your right arm forward, and push your core inward. So don't arch, don't hang. Separate the fingers in the palm of your supporting hand. Breathe. You can look up, drishti, gaze up, exhale, and down. Let's change. Inhale, lift. Left arm, right leg. Flex your toes, leg is active. Keep breathing, tuck. Again, don't arch, don't sink. Breathe. Exhale and down. We're going to do this one more time. You can repeat it at least 3 or 4 times on each side. Inhale, lift. Tuck. Breathe, working with strength now. Feel the back of the leg working. Feel your core working. Exhale and down. Inhale and lift. Breathing. Very, very easy. Exhale, and then you can always use padding for underneath your knees if you have knee issues. Okay. Next one as well. So the next one, a lot of lower back issues are related to tight hips. So again, a stretch, but also stability. Step your right leg forward, square your hips. Many times what happens is this hip tends to turn out. Square your hips, tilt your pelvis forward, sink forward. Don't let your abdomen stick out, and really keep your back leg engaged. So you can have your hands here, you can have your hands here, you can have your hands here in the final position, shoulders down, palms together. If your shoulders are like this or your pose is like this, separate your hands, work like this. Breathe here, and you'll feel a strong stretch here in the hip flexor in the front. Breathe, square, 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 square. Keep tilting the pelvic heads forward. Feel these two bones, and slowly release. You can come back to neutral and we change side. And I keep saying that both the sides of the body do not feel the same. Yeah. In yoga asana practice, we try and balance out the sides of the body. Step your left leg forward, square the hips. Sinking forward gently. Breathe. Square the hips, keep sinking. Tuck your pelvis forward. Make sure you're not doing this. Lower back arch, abdominals out. Tuck in, then sink. Breathe. Yeah, keep working with that. This is really working on a lot of stability as well. Again, palms can be here, here, arms up, shoulder blades relaxed, down. Stay. Exhale and release. Another really popular posture, and this actually really works your whole spine, and I'm going to actually close the practice with this, okay? We've come into child's pose multiple times. We use child's pose as a transition to also get into the favorite and famous downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana or Parvatasana. Different schools have different names. Stretch your arms forward, hips back, into your ankles. Rest. This in itself is amazing for your lower back and your hips. Why? Because the hips tend to lift off in your balasana, push your hips back, find length in your spine, tilt your pelvis forward, push your core muscles in towards the spine, and then work this pose. Very, very nice for the lower back. From here, we're going to tuck the toes under and feet parallel to each other, palms shoulder width apart. Come up into your downward dog. I'm not going into the full pose with the legs straight. You can keep your knees bent, rotate your elbows forward. So this pose actually works everything we've talked about: the neck, the shoulders, the thoracic region, the lower back, and push your hips back and up, like you're really finding length in your back. And breathe. And you can drop your neck. Drop your neck, release it, and stay and breathe. If you're flexible, you can slowly start to straighten out the legs, pushing your heels back down into the floor. Now that depends on a lot of things. Keep gripping the floor with the palms of your hands. We're going to take a few more breaths here. And bend your knees, and we return back to Balasana. I love this subject so much, and I can go on and on, but there isn't enough time, and I'd really like to give you this brief relaxation, yeah, and it's one of my favorite postures. It's called constructive rest, and you see, yoga keeps evolving, and sometimes when we really work the spine hard, this is a beautiful alternate to Shavasana. So Knees together, feet apart. Press your lower back and spine down to the floor. Feel your neck and spine and lower back in one line. Shoulders are relaxed. Close your eyes if you'd like to, or just gently closed, halfway closed. Feel your whole spine aligned and relaxing down towards gravity. Breathing is relaxed belly breathing, or if you know diaphragmatic breathing, place your hands on your ribs. Since we're talking so much about thoracic mobility, if you can feel the sideways movement of your ribs, inhale and exhale. Inhale, sideways, and exhale. And your ribs are all around, so you want to feel the front, the sides, and the back. So really, this is intercostal breathing. Soles of the feet in connect with the floor. Legs relax, knees together. Tailbone, lower back, mid back, upper back, and neck in connection with the floor, with the mat. Belly and chest and heart resting on the spine. Fingers, palms resting on the ribs, on the abdominals. Shoulders relaxed. Neck in line with the spine, making sure your chin is down into the chest. Facial muscles relaxed. Top of the head, back of the head, and the temples. Just a few minutes of silence, few moments. Just integrating everything that we have learned today in our bodies, in our minds, and in our energy. And as we slowly want to come out of this posture, we're going to roll over to the right side of the body. So drop the knees, drop the spine, the neck, curl up. So it looks like this. An embryo position. I prefer the right side because it's not the side of the heart, the aorta. And then I push myself up and come up to seated. Love to finish this practice with one collective Om. So bringing your palms together in Namaskar Mudra. Take a deep breath in, inhale. Om. Three Shantis. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. As you rub your palms together, rub them well, feel the warmth and energy and prana between your hands and palm your eyes. And energize yourself or relax yourself for the evening. In regular practice, always Hari Om Tat Sat. Thank you so much for sharing this space with me if you've attended this session. And Sophia, over to you.
Thank you, Samantha. That was fantastic. That was just great. And I'm sure all of our participants have really benefited from this practice. It's such a relevant practice because I'm sure we've all felt strain in our neck, our shoulders, and our spine. And your attention to detail was just splendid. Thank you so much, Samantha. That was great. So participants, we're now going to open the session for questions and answers. So if there's anything you'd like to ask Samantha about the practice, we've already had a few questions. Sidika is asking, where's your school? So if you just stay tuned till the end of this session, Samantha will be sharing her details, Sidika. Then we have another question from Bhuvana. Bhuvana is asking if you can practice the cat pose if you have knee pain.
Yes, that's a very good question. As I said, it depends on what kind of knee pain you have. Like if it's right on the kneecap, you can do like variations where actually sitting cross-legged as well, and or just doing it on your chair. You know, this is another where you're kind of just mobilizing your spine sitting. Or if you can manage to be on your knees, place something underneath your knees, like a folded mat or a cushion, right? So many ways of doing it. Yeah.
Okay, I hope that answers your question, Bhuvna. And then someone's asking if they can get this video, Yuvaranj, if you can get the clipping of this video. So to all our participants, yes, you can, because this live session is being recorded and it will be available on our YouTube channel. So anytime you feel like you want to, go through the practice session again, just please go to our YouTube channel and you'll find it there. And then Sidika said this practice session was very helpful. Samantha, thank you. So, and okay, I think we have one more question. Oh, again, someone's asking if they can get the recorded session. So as I said, this will be available on our YouTube channel. So please tune in later if you've missed the session or if you want to practice later. Then Gunjan Gupta is saying that his daughter has a lordosis problem. So can she do this practice with that problem?
Absolutely. Lordosis, as I said, is an exaggerated lumbar arch. Remember, I spoke about this. Now, this can lead to multiple issues: stiffness in the thoracic region, pain in the neck, etc. So yes, please, especially with the pelvic tilt forward, she needs to correct that. So this is amazing to do if you follow the sequence. Yeah.
Okay, next question is, can this practice be done by someone, a senior citizens in their 70s?
Sitting on a chair, yes. Depends again on the condition of their lower back and hips. If they've been practicing, are they used to sitting on the floor or not? But a lot of this stuff, as you see, some of it was standing, some of it was, as I said, you could sit on the chair, do the neck shoulder mobilizations, you could do even your cat, you don't have to get on your knees. Some of the knee stuff, I would say, avoid those. But otherwise, yes.
Yeah. Then Sidika's also, thank you for that answer, Samantha. And Sidika's asking, what if you've had hip replacement? Can you still do this practice?
Depends on how old you are and when was the hip replacement done. Always consult with your doctor and your surgeon, like what is possible and what is not. I know I've had knee issues and my surgeon said there are certain things you should not be doing, but if this again is so personal, I would actually have to look at you to see what exactly is going on. But some of these things like upper body stuff, spinal stuff, yes, absolutely. With the hip stuff, we'll have to take a closer look at that.
Thank you, Samantha. I think that's about it for the questions, everyone. Thank you so much. If for any reason we haven't asked your question, it's because of time restraints. But this has been great. So let's talk about announcements for today evening session. Kotiji, can we have the poster for this evening, please? Okay, so we have another great session this evening. Senior Ashtanga teacher Eddie Stern will be talking to us about yoga and yoga and healing response. He's a very senior Ashtanga teacher and an author based in New York. So please join us for this session this evening. Thank you, Kotiji. Coming back to Samanta, if any of our participants would like to get in touch with you, how can they do that?
Right. So my website is samantaduggal.com, and it's Samanta is spelled without an H. So it's not Samantha, but it's SAMANTADUGGAL.com, samantaduggal.com. I'm also on Instagram at Samanta Duggal again, and also on Facebook. And my email is samantaduggal7@gmail.com. You can reach out to me anytime. I'm holding a lot of online sessions as well, and I hope you can be a part of them and join me soon.
Thank you so much, Samanta. So guys, I hope you have her details. And to remind you again, this session will be available on our YouTube channel. So if you've missed it, or if you would like to practice it again, please go to our YouTube channel. And just before we sign out, do you have any last message for our participants?
So I would say that it's never too late to start. I know that people who have injuries and people who are senior citizens, they get very overwhelmed by the whole idea of, oh, yoga. First of all, yoga is boring, and I can't start it when it's too late. But I have to say that I've worked with so many modifications today. As you will see, you can apply this practice to yourself, to your bodies, to your individuality. So do not fear the practice, embrace it, and find the right person to practice with, and of course do a daily sadhana. That's all. Thank you so much.
Samantha. It was wonderful having you. Thank you so much. Dhanyavad everyone for joining us this morning. Thank you very much. Have a beautiful day.
Hari Om, and thank you everybody.